In this demonstration, we're going to dive more deeply with Adobe Dimension and to start to look in some details that will enhance your experience and to help you to create more, sophisticated work, and also open the door for you to think about the possibility to use the dimension for other projects in a totally different way. So let's create a new document. A new document is relatively small size. You will see this the current pixel size here, which I think is very cool that actually show the actual dimension of this 2D canvas, the final render thing. Which I think Photoshop should use in the same way, Illustrator use in the same way. So this is really a time to think about what's the next generation of Creative Cloud software. So here, that's the way how you can change your canvas size is from here. If you want to keep this current 3 aspect ratio, that definitely you can use this way to keep the current aspect ratio and just resize to the size you want. For example, I can simply change this one to let's do 1600, and the other side will change. So when this one's done, we're using the same shortcut to using Command 0 to refit this screen. So now the final render size will be bigger than what we then that will be bigger, and then your pixel quality and the image size will be bigger, object size will be bigger. So there are another option here is the environment. So environment defining what you can see from here. There's several basic settings here. If you click the environment, we have this background color. You can do a global lighting, so which means the current brightness of this scene. And also using this one to control the shadow opacity, which I highly recommended. If you're just using this one for creating objects, definitely you want to remove the shadow. We don't need this kind of a shadow because you can use this one to to generate a several objects that can be used for different projects. So let's just keep dropping some of those basic shapes here. So for example, but before that, let me show you one strategy I think will be helpful for this project is go to the camera. So the field of view, it's currently is a 45 degree. I would say we can, if you really want to think to make this one looks pretty cool, you can reduce the field of view. So that means more like a 2D look, more like a parallel view. But if you do a very, just a field of view, like a 1 point is more like a parallel view. Okay, so isometric, objects. So for example, if you drop a cube, that will maybe have some adjustment. So for this object, okay, so we need to do some change to see this object actually. Okay. So we see that. So we change this the view. So by hold 3 and then keep kind of draw the details. So let's do a quick preview. You will do the preview. Okay. We do a quick preview to see there's some details here. Okay. And then next, let's just make sure that everything on the top. And then let's just drop several other objects that you will see. This one here is really a different, it's a more isometric. Using this one, using this method, I would say, well, let's open a new possibility. Okay, so by just changing the camera, field of view. Okay, so it's the secret from photography. Okay, from the camera control. Okay, so now let's go to add a few more objects. So it will be interesting to see those things in in these similar isometric VL. Okay, so let's go here. See that? Okay, have a more object. We can bring this one. Just kind of like a feel this thing. Yeah, just making them quite a separate. Okay. Again, the idea is using this one. I like the idea is just using this one, to create those beautiful objects that you can use for different objects. It's also one of the method I want to share in my class. So that's kind of like just one way to using it. It's not a traditional way of using the machine. Okay, just bring it down a little bit. Okay, so back to there. But I had to say this really opened a new possibility to create, new kind of a separation, new kind of the composition because the view angles changed. Okay, so just get some more crystal shapes. Okay, so now next I'm going to just drop several other things here. Okay. Okay, don't forget to bring this one to the top. So we kind of like have quite a lot of things going on here. All right, this one a little bit bigger. Well, if you're making object more for to using for composition project, you wanted this one to be feel a little bit bigger to using all the available space. Okay. So now let's go to we're going to play around with those those materials. Let's just drop those material. Okay, several different thing here. Okay, cool. This one could be golden bow here. Okay, maybe let's use this one. Okay. All right, so now we have quite a lot of object. I'd like to have some maybe this one. Okay. All right, so now since we already modified the kind of size, we also modify the the camera settings all here. Then we can change the light environment and change the the light setting here to see which one may works better. So this one looks pretty nice. We can lower the intensity of the light, so that would be less shadow. We can also rotate light to see which maybe one point of the reflection maybe works better for our project. Okay. And finally, we can start to, I'm going to just a little bit brighter here. Then we're going to preview this and to see some possible way of this object. Okay. So again, you can always go back to change some details here. Okay. Now one more things I want to do is maybe I can drop a text here. So the default setting the text is a lot, but so I'm just using okay. So here we have this text setting here. So you have the option here to using choose a different font and the content, which I would just do maybe 3D and just put it somewhere. Because I would do the preview, the real-time preview, so you will see this one, every time you drop something, it's slowly get there, start to render. Just go get this one with a different color. Again, to change the color, you can also change these object with different color. It's really it's really based on what your preference. Okay, so I would just keep it this one as right now, and I would just going to render this one to a separated PSD. Again, those processes may look very similar, with the previous demonstration, but they are slightly different. This is the concept of using repeat. How we can repeat those things. We learn by repeating a knowledge to keep verify this knowledge that is work, and to do this one several times. So this is verified is very helpful for the classroom, and also good for self-learning. So now the system is rendering this image. We get the perfect view of this quality. Most of the time you don't have to set up the higher the quality. I think the low fast is good enough for most of the case. You can always render an image with a larger size, but later resize, reduce this one for a small composition to enhance the quality. Okay, so now let's go down here and edit in Photoshop. Now we have several objects here. Because we don't have the shadow, that is the most easy thing right now. So how we can easily select this object and make them separate. Separate layer. What you can do here is just kind of like the most easy way is just go select this using L to kind of very roughly select this one and Command X and Command Shift V, and then do this one for this object as well. And then you don't forget that you always need to select a render image layer. If you want to isolate this object from that layer. Okay, so Command X, Command Shift V. Do that again. Okay, and Command X, Command Shift V. Again. Oh, sorry, it's not that way. So Command X and Command Shift V. You always want to go back to the render layer and then Command X, Command Shift V, and go render in there. Some details here. It's a bit close, so Command X, Command Shift V. Okay, on this layer we have just two objects here, so we can just remove this one. Okay, Command X, Command Shift V. So now we have all the layers with this simply, with a separate, on the separate layer. So we can do this one by hold the Option key, and you can click the eye icons here, and to see all the layer. And you can combine with Shift key to show all the layer back. Okay, so you can do that way. So you can verify this. This is a very important step that we can now we can combine all the elements we built before to make a composition here with maybe we can make one with image. Okay, so we're going to show this one in a separate video.